Alright guys, today we're going to talk about tinting lenses. These are side marker lenses for the Chevelle. This works with headlights, taillights, any plastic type lens. But what we're going to do is smoke these lenses or tint them, but we're going to use Basecoat to do this. So the way I started prepping these, I prepped them with some scuff paste and a gray Scotch-Brite and blow them dry, wet prep these. Scuff paste, wet, gray Scotch-Brite, and blow them dry. So this is what we got. Now we are not painting these really, we're just tinting them. You don't just take black base and spray it over that. First we want to lock it down with just DBC 500. That's going to fill in those scratches in the lens. If I don't do this, you might see some of these scratches in the black. It may not lay on there evenly. And when we get to the black, we're going to be spraying a very diluted mixture, almost like a candy black over top of this. So now I've got my DBC on there, and you can see that it basically looks like a new lens. You can't see any of those scuff marks or scratches anymore. And that's basically going to act as our sealer for what we're doing here. We're just filling some scratches in, getting it something smooth to lay over when we do our black. So what I've got here is I've just poured some black into my DBC. For this ratio, I run about 4 parts DBC to 1 part black base, and then we reduce this also. So we have a very, I'll say thin, a coat of black that does not cover well. You don't want it to cover well. If you have too much black in your mixture, when you spray this out, you will have tiny dots on your lenses, and that's what we're trying to avoid. We're trying to get a nice even smoked look. So we're way over reducing this black, more or less, by mixing it with DBC and then reducing it. It's making it way weaker of a black. And the whole idea there is to not have dots on our lenses. We want a nice even smoked look. So now I've got my black DBC mixture in the gun. I'm using an LS400 for this. And I'm going to turn my pressure up to about 30. I want to really atomize this, again, to try to avoid droplets. So I'm going to turn my pressure up to about 30. And this may take 3, 5, 6, 8 coats to get to the desired darkness. We don't want them dark. We just want them noticeably smoked. And ultimately, that's what we're left with. This is still a little wet, but that is 3 coats of our DBC and black mixture over the lens. So when I say 3 coats, when I'm coating this, I'm not spraying it like base. My overlap is probably 90%, and I move fast with lots of overlap, and I just waft it on there real slowly, I'll say, as I go across, even. Just waft it all on there evenly. That's the key. So that's what we've got. And the taillights with that little bit of silver in there that's kind of smoked now, I dig it. I think that's going to be sweet. Love it. So now we're going to do 2 coats of BC 5700 over this. And somebody is going to ask about adhesion promoter on these. I generally don't. It's kind of breaking the rules a little bit, but I generally don't, because most of the adhesion promoter has some pearls in it. And I've been told the reason they do that is so that they can see it. If there's a warranty issue, they can see that layer when they inspect the paint. So anyway, I don't ever use adhesion promoter when I'm doing lenses, when I'm tinting lenses, because I don't want to see the metallic in there. Because you will see it, because you're basically making a black candy that goes over that. That's where your tint's coming from. So anything below that you will see. So now we're going to do 2 coats of 5700. These will be done.